How's it going, ScrubGamers? Welcome back to another video here at ScrubGames, and today we're going to go over this week's news for our next episode of Previously in DBS. It's back a little bit after the we had like a little bit of hiatus because the reveals for Zenkai were over, and now we're getting ones for the anniversary box now that this set is actually officially out now. And we have got a little bit of it. We got a few spoilers, plus we got some reveals of the new winner promos for the regional season and the new champ pack cards, which spoiler alert, they're not as amazing. Like there's like Banner seem to be like hitting back down on them, making them less like strong like Mecha Frieza was, and more older support like we got with the last ones. But before we do get in the video, feel free to like the video, comment down below your thoughts on this video, and as well as that, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Keeps you updated with my videos as and when they drop, especially if you get notification bell, you can get alerts when my videos do drop as well, and it helps me get to my goal of 1,000 subs, which I'm currently almost halfway there. So let's have a look and see what we got revealed today. So starting off with the Giant Pack promos, we got a good 5 of them, one of each colour like we usually do, and in my opinion, it might not be everybody's opinion, but there are these 3 which aren't like the more heavy support for older archetypes. That's not great, but could be alright depending. I think they're not great, and the other 2 are support, which I think is actually quite strong for the respective decks. So we have SS Sun Goten Familial Fellowship. It's the red promo for the champ packs, 15k 2-drop. Then we have Trunks Heroic Bond, which the red Gotenks as well as for the old red Gotenks lead from I think set 15. Then we got Trunks Heroic Bond, which is a 4-drop 15k, which is for the Trunks Youth deck, I think in the same set, I'm not entirely sure. And then we got a 1-drop 4k Toa, which is for the Ultimate deck Toa. So start off with the SS Sun Goten Familial Fellowship. It is a blocker as well, with 2 effects, an auto and activate main. The auto is just when this card is played, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and up to 1 Saiyan or Earthling card that are both red with energy cost of 3 or less from them among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So a nice little searcher, but it is 2 cost, so I'm not sure how strong it would be. But it also does have a activate main, which is limit 1, which requires you to pay 1 red, and if your leader is a red Sun Goten card, so it specifically works for that lead, Sun Goten card, and you have 4 more energy, so it's a turn 4 play at the latest. Well, at the earliest, and you discard this card from your hand, so you don't have to actually play it for the search if you don't want to. You just have to hand, gets turn 4 played out, and then that is all the cost. That's all the requirement, and it's also limit 1. And you get to play up to 1 SS Sun Gohan Kamehameha Miracle from your hand, or drop with a marker on it. Then you get to play up to 1 Son Goku Kamehameha Miracle from your hand, or drop as well. So that is the unison that specifically came with the deck, and the 1-drop that you need to go together to do like this really good push with the lead. So that gives it a little bit more consistency, makes it a little bit better, but you still wait until turn 4 in red, and a red deck that isn't actually that strong. And also they're not from deck or anything like that, they're hand from drops. You either lost them already or discarded them from previously, or you've got them in your hand, so you're losing hand advantage to play it for your hand. So you're discarding this card, paying 1 red, not replacing it either, and then playing out the 1-drop in the unison. And the 1-drop does, I think, is a cantrip, so we'll get your card back. So you're basically just using 3 cards from hand to play out 2 cards and draw a card, which isn't actually that great in my opinion, especially for this deck. I know some people that like Goten that might enjoy this, but it's quite a bad promo to get. Like if you're going to support, like Bandai have shown that they can support with effects that are not busted, well, not broken, but strong for the deck. Like best example is probably the Red Tyrion from one of the TPs, which actually helped out the deck, but didn't make it overly too powerful. Just really helped out, give it the support it needed, which is actually a 1-drop Tyrion, which is really nice. And they've shown with that they can actually do that with supporting cards, but this doesn't quite hit the mark there. And we've got Trunks Heroic Bond. So this is a deflect one, so this one's got deflect instead of blocker like Goten does, and it's got 2 autos and activate main. So we'll start off with the activate main, which is how you play it for cheap, because you don't want to pay 4 for this. It's by paying 1 blue if your leader is a blue Trunks Youth card, play this from your hand, and then you get the first auto, which is by paying 1 blue, you place 1 foreboding music box from your battle area that's in its drop area, and place 1 card from your hand at the bottom of your deck as the cost. So you got to pay 1 blue, stack off your field card, and bottom deck a card from your hand. And then that triggers when it's played, you play up to one blue Tapion card with entry cost of 4 from your hand or deck. It's off your deck if you look through it. And I believe the Tapion is a cantrip as well. When it's played, it draws a card, so you get the kind of like it's technically then only sacking off your field card to play the Tapion out from deck and replace the card you put on deck from your hand. So you can even put the Tapion if it's in your hand back in your deck to play it straight out. So that's not too bad. So for 2 energy you get this and a 20k double striker, and this also has an auto. When it attacks, you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 3 or less and return it to his owner's hand. Now battles about the hand isn't great, especially just for 3 costs or less, because most of them are like cantrips or something useful, but it is what it is. Like I just seem to not know whether to put bounce the hand or bottom deck things on cards. Like I don't reckon bottom decking would have been too bad on this, but bounce the hand isn't great. But this isn't too bad for the sport for the Trunks. Just a pity that, just like the Red Goat said, the Trunks deck is pretty terrible. That's just a fact, really. Like you can dispute it, but I think a lot of people will agree. And then you've got Toa, Scientific Pursuit. So this is a cantrip. When it's played, draw one card. That's quite nice, just to have a cantrip. And then we've got a Never Alter, which is by paying 1 if you have 4 more energy. When this card is played, play up to 1 Dark Shenron Tyrannical Savior, I think, which is the unison from the Ultimate deck, from your hand or deck with 4 markers on it, then shuffle your deck if you look through it. Now, that's just when played, so for 2 energy you can play this, draw a card and play the unison straight from your deck, which is not too bad. But then you don't get to, it needs to be on the board at the start of your turn, I believe, to get the minus marker effect. But still, you can get this out with quite a few markers, but you have to have 4 more energy, so it's quite a late turn play. But I think the deck can get to turn 4 not like easily enough, but this one at least is quite decent support. It's not as great, but it's still decent nonetheless for the deck. And then we go on to the other 2. So these are the 2 I think are a lot stronger, and that is Great Sun Goku, Full Moon Nightmare, and 8-drop 30k for the that seems to be for the starter. Yellow Starter Goku we got recently for Zenkai, and then King Cold Transfer Power, which is a 4-drop 20k, which is support for the King Cold deck. So with the 8, but this is probably the best one and more the chase one from it, because as I said, it's an 8-drop 30k with triple strike, so it has no deflect to protect it, but you can evolve for 5 in total, being 2 yellow and 3 of any color, and it's on a yellow non-grape Son Goku childhood card. Now you got to remember, in the starter deck there was a 4-drop you can play out for 1 energy, and it reduces I think it's got barrier, and it reduces the evolve skill on all Great Ape Goku if you don't have them on board already by 1 yellow and 1 of 1 colorless energy. So this could be a evolve 3, which does seem quite a lot, but its effect is very strong. This could be quite a good, like, it's just the fact of like how that deck works. This could be quite a good clear for your opponent's cards, and a unison killer for the deck as well. Because it's also as if your leader is yellow and has Son Goku in its character name, and you have 4 more energy. So once again, another turn 4 play, but still not too bad, because yellow can hold off the turn 4 quite easily. When this card is played, switch all other cards in your battle area to rest mode, then choose all your opponent's battle cards, unisons and field extras in rest mode and place them in his drop area. And considering the fact the leader can swing, rest one of your cards, then rest everything that's not their energy on your opponent's board, it's already strong enough. So literally turn 4 you can just swing with your lead to rest one of your cards to rest all your opponent's non-energy, and then you can just evolve into this and then send everything you just rested in the battle area, even unisons and field extra cards, and place them in the owner's drop area. So this is a field killer and a unison killer in the deck, and that is very strong. Like I reckon and being a 0-cost 5k, it's not going to be dead in your hand like everything's. I feel this is going to be a quite strong card, and then being a 30k triple striker as well, after you've just rested most of their battle cards and unisons, is pretty good for pressure. And then that brings us to King Cold, Transfer of Power. So this is it's got critical. It's also a 0-cost 5k combo, and it's got the permanent, like most of them do in the King Cold deck, which is for every 2 green extra cards in your battle area and or drop, you choose any cost of this card in your hand by 1. So if you've got 4 in total on board and in drop of fill cards, you can play this for free off one of the fill card. I can't remember the name of it, but you can play off one of the fill cards for free. And it's got a nice activate main, which gives like something that the deck was lacking a little bit in easy ways to just sack out the field cards outside your leader, and that isn't defensively or costs more like cost energy to play, because if 5-drop in it, it costs at least 3 to come down, and there's no way to cheat out. Where this one you can cheat out, and it gives you an added removal plus a way to sack off your field cards to replay them, because once you have one on board, you can't play another copy of it until you get rid of that one off board. And that is through his activate main, which is once per turn, where you choose one green field extra card with entry cost of 2 or less in your battle area, and place it in his owner's drop area. And then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, KO it, then add to one green field extra card with entry cost of 2 or less from your drop into your Z energy. So this is quite nice, how it allows you to charge your Z energy as well, and also give you removal and get rid of your field cards so you can play them again. It's just a pity that green doesn't have the most generic, or that many generic good Z battle cards. The only one it's got is the Freezer, because the one for the starter deck is locked to a leader, and the other 2 in the set are locked to their archetypes. And since we've only got 4 from, because each colour got 1, well, apart from black, got 1 from the starter deck, and then 3 in the main set, so that's 4 in total, but green only had 1. That's is one of the 2 colours that only had 1 that's like usable for all the colours, well, any deck. So being able to charge the Z energy is quite decent, but at the moment it doesn't have much use until we get more and more green Z cards. But still, is a really good card. Nice way to control your fill cards, be able to replay them easier, and also gives you removal, which is really good. And critical pressure, 20k very early is going to be good. So that's the Chapman cards. So 2 quite strong ones I feel out of the 5, and the other one's supporting niche decks that would be probably more likable to people who are big fans of those characters. But it's these 2 I reckon are the stronger out of the 5. And then we have the anniversary box red cards. So we're getting the anniversary box cards now. We're getting the reveals, which is great because we're going to finally get to see what the support for each of the old cards. Because if you don't know what anniversary box is, it's supposed to be a promo set, which supports old archetypes, bring them up to a little bit of playability in the current meta. And it's just really nice ones, and we've already seen all the different characters and cards in it. We just haven't seen all the effects, only the ones for the first row in the trailer. So now we get to see the Hit Unison, the PLAF support, and the Android 18 card as well. So Hit is one that supports the old reboot Hit lead, and it's a 2 specified cost red Unison with 15k power, with an auto of once per turn. When this card is attacked by a card with 10k power or more, switch the target of the attack to your leader. That's really good because the reboot Hit leader doesn't have any built-in self-awaken. It does still draw when it swings to the leader, and like pressure up to awakening leaders as well, so it's not left behind. But awakening is a hard thing that deck has trouble with without using outside support, and this is a nice way to give you a good unison and also basically force your opponent to attack your leader to help you awaken. And then it's got 2 marker skills, the first one being a +1, activate main, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, so self-awakening that, and then place a skill on a spell card with entry cost of 2 from your deck in your drop area to shuffle your deck. So that sets up perfect with it. It allows you to take a life to help you awaken, help your leader awaken quickly, and as well as that, set up your leader because it's all around playing a skill list from the drop area when it swings, so get that extra pressure, and setting that up straight away so when you're awakened you have that skill list in your drop is really nice. And then it's also got a +/-0 activate main, which is for 2. If your leader is a red hit card and your opponent has 3 and 1 energy, you get to play up to 1 mono red hit card with entry cost of 4 from your hand. I think there's only 1. I think there is only just 1 at the moment, and that is the 4-drop that used to be busted when it was first revealed, first played in the format. But over time it just dropped off because it's a 4 cost with no deflect and no way to cheat in, and now you have a way to cheat in the hit deck, which is really nice. And then we move on to PLAF, Mechanized Partnership. So this is for the red PLAF deck from set 10. It's a 2 cost 15k, 0 cost 5k power, combo power, and then also, which is limit 1 for 2 red. If your leader is a red PLAF card and there are 1 or more PLAF you and my cards in your drop area, that's very easy to pull off because the deck has like the trio that when you play 1 they play the other 2 from your deck, so you can get those out quite easily to spam the board. And the effect is when this card is used in a combo from your hand, play up to 1 PLAF machine and master bot from your deck and shuffle your deck. So that's quite nice. You get to play out the, I think it's the big 6-drop machine for free from your deck, and it's not got no energy requirements. You just need to have those free and drop, have that leader and combo this, and you just get to pay 2 red, play it straight from your deck after comboing. You can even do it defensively, which is very nice. So I think that's quite decent support for the old PLAF deck. because it is quite like a spammy, like go wide deck with some interesting combos, and this is quite a nice card for it. And then we get the Android 18 with Reckless Abandon. Okay, this is the U7 Goku support. Like, I don't know why it needed it. Like, Bandai seem to see decks that maybe because it hasn't been doing the greatest. Like, a lot of people like it and play it, and it hasn't been doing the greatest, so they tried to support it. But then, really, Anniversary Box makes more sense of being support for older archetypes that aren't like a set or two old. Like, they support in Gamma, which didn't need support in the TPs, and then they're supporting the U7 in the Anniversary Box with a support card. And like, while the players might be enjoying it, it's not a deck that needs support really. Like, to be honest, it does need support, but it gets it in this one, which is a Android 18, which is free cost 15k, 0 cost 5k combo, and has 4 skills. So it's got a counter attack, which is limit 1, and it's got 3 permanents. So the counter attack is literally just negate the attack, play this card, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 15k power for the turn. So that's quite nice for it. Just need to negate the attack, play a 15k on board, and also minus 5k your opponent's board by 15 to help manage their board, which is going to be quite strong for the deck. And then we go on to its 3 permanents. So the first one is to reduce the cost by sparking 7 if you have a leader. If your leader is a mono red unit with a 7 Son Goku card, you reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 2, or hand and drop by 2, so you can use it as a negate from your hand or drop by 2. And I say you can use it from the drop because it's third permanent, which is you can activate this card's counter skill from your drop by paying its energy cost and discarding 1 card from your hand. So you can put something in your drop that you want. So if you've got a Koitsukai in your hand, I don't know if people still run Koitsukai in the deck, you can just grab drop your Koitsukai and then play this from your drop by using the counter attack skill, which is very strong. And it does have a permanent though, so you can't just keep looping this, where if this card removed from the battle area, you remove from the game instead. So that's a nice little permanent add-on to it, which makes sense, because if you're just negating this and just having constant negate from your drop, which is a bit unfair. So far, these 3 red cards for the Anniversary are very strong for the archetypes. This is like what you like to see, and Anniversary support actually supports the decks for it and give it some good support. This is once again examples of good support that isn't busted, but still very good for their actual decks they're meant to go in. And then also what I missed off last week, because we didn't have a Zenkai series, because this was the only information that came out for it, and I don't want to do a video just on this. We got the new free winner promos for the next upcoming regionals. I don't know about the ones in the other regions, but for the UK or in Europe, the next regional is going to be in London on the 1st of October, and these are the promos we can get from topping. So if you make top 32, you get the Freezer Death's Embrace, which looks really nice, really nice art for it. Then if you make top 16, you get the Great Saiyan Man 2 Budding Hero, which is a quite nice card. Interesting choice though, interesting choice. Like, both those two are interesting choices. And then if you make top 4, you get the Son Goku Calamity Challenger, which is one that hasn't a reprint, but it's been kind of gone up in price as a card, because it's a really good card and hasn't yet had a reprint. So you can get a pretty nice art from that one. And that leaves us with the last bit being the ScrubGames Webcam Locals results from this week. So from Friday we had the locals with Zenkai series being legal, and this is the first. Well, even though the Zenkai series was legal for the one last week, and it was also legal for this week, but this was the first week we actually had people playing full Zenkai rather than just having some of the promo for cheaters in their Z deck. And from the results, we had quite a few people playing some of the new decks. I was hoping to play PyCon, but I didn't have all the support, all the cards come through. But it ended up being 10 people jumped in, and 10 people registered for the event and played in it. And the deck that ended up taking it, going first place, was Andre playing at Turtle School, which is the green Masaroshi deck from the Zenkai first set, going 3-1, and then followed right behind him with the same record but losing out on tiebreakers, being 2 SS4 Gogeta decks going 3-1, so those still put in work. And then after that we had Truman Salsa piloted by Big O, a big advocate for the deck. Like, he's loving it. I think he's even playing it now. And then we got PyCon played by Tom from Deck Planet, and myself on Yellow Piccolo, not the superhero one, the other one from I think it was Ultima Squad. And then we had U7 just after that at the bottom of the 2-2s. And then we had a Reboot Gotenks coming 1-3, Red Jiren in 1-3, and then Android 16 going 1-1 drop in last place. So that is it for the video this week. So we're gonna have more. This series is gonna come back because we're getting the anniversary box reveals, and we'll be seeing more from that because we got some nice reveals. Some of the cards are quite interesting. Support older archetypes. Hopefully, bring them up to the Zenkai series a bit stronger. And also, we get a load more Z cards that can be generic, but we'll see. But they look to be supporting a lot of old ones. Like we got the Jinimba Z leader, there's a massive Z leader and stuff like that come out, and I'm looking forward to the set 2 Vegeta stuff. So again, that's it from me. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next week or in the next one. Bye for now.